not limited to the doctor's immediate payment of all salaries owed to all house officers, including match salaries, salary shortfalls of 2014, 2015, and 2016 of members in all federal institutions, including state-owned institutions, as earlier agreed with the government. Plus TV Africa stopped by at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, LUTH, to find out how the strike is going on.
Some of these issues are not new things to the Nigerian people. So we just feel that it's insensitive of the government that despite that NAD has, been agitating on some of these issues, government has not seen it necessary to come to a round table to discuss and find solution to some of these challenges facing residency training in Nigeria. And that is why we feel that, having, endured for so long, there's no better time than now to say this is not acceptable. Enough is enough.
One wonders if there are no other means to register the doctor's demand rather than the strike, considering the patients.
Strike is usually the last resort in any struggle, and you can judge from the time it has taken for this strike to be implemented eventually.
What then happens to the patients, considering it's an indefinite strike?
No doctor, want to abandon his or her patients. That's the truth. The passion we have for this work and the way we take our patients, we don't normally want to go on strike, except when it is absolutely necessary. And that is why you see that it usually takes a long process before strike will eventually be resorted to. And, it's something that is unfortunate that it has to, happen sometime.
Ahead of the strike, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, held a conciliatory meeting with the leaders of the union on Wednesday in Abuja. At the meeting, he appealed to the aggrieved medical practitioners to have a rethink, saying the federal government was making efforts to ensure their demands are met. Jacinta Obiuku reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Still on the news brief on Plus TV Africa, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control has recorded 106 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 162,997. The country's daily new cases continue to follow a downward trajectory from an all-time high of 2,314 on January 22nd. The country's daily new positive cases came down to 48 as of March 29th. The agency stated that the country has so far tested 1,767,694 people since the first confirmed case relating to COVID-19 was announced on February 27, 2020. The Nigeria's Public Health Institute reported one additional coronavirus-related death in the last 24 hours, which brought the death toll now to 2,058. And Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has urged Christians to imbibe the teachings of Jesus Christ on love and sacrifice as he charged citizens to take COVID-19 vaccines. The governor made the call in his Easter message made available to newsmen by his Chief Press Secretary, Richard Olatunde. Akeredolu said that in spite of the challenges facing the state and the country, there was a great promise of hope and joy, but attainable only through genuine expression of love and sacrifice. He noted that people should celebrate modestly and emphasized on the need to strictly follow all COVID-19 protocols, particularly the use of face masks. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, says the states of Abia and Taraba have the lowest number of vaccinated people so far in the country. According to it, no fewer than 800,000 people have been vaccinated in Nigeria. Nigeria kicked off vaccination on the 5th of March 2021. The country commenced vaccination with healthcare workers who are mostly at risk to the infections being the first responders. And the Lagos State Safety Commission says it has shut 430 event centers and nightclubs in the state for violating COVID-19 protocols. The Director General of the Commission, Lanre Mojola, said the Commission was saddled with the responsibility of developing safety guidelines for the state's reopening of economic activities post-COVID-19 lockdown. Mojola also said the Commission had carried out a risk assessment and unscheduled safety inspections of construction sites to ensure safety compliance as well as adherence to COVID-19 protocols to prevent accidents and loss of lives. He added that the Commission issued provisional safety compliance certificates for 90 days and would issue safety compliance certificates thereafter if compliance status was maintained at the sites. Still in the news, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, on Thursday, received his first jab of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, joining hundreds of Nigerians who have been vaccinated against the virus. Photos of the vaccination were shared by the electoral body on its official Twitter handle. And now for news stories in other parts of Africa. Egypt is rushing to set the scene for the movement of 22 royal mummies to a new home on Saturday, lining their travel route with lights and banners and boosting security ahead of the large event dubbed the Pharaoh's Golden Parade. Having taken months of planning, the event is meant to transport some of ancient Egypt's most prominent mummies through a convoy from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir to their final resting place in the National Egyptian Museum of Civilization in Fustat. Each mummy will be placed in a capsule, explained Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, filled also with nitrogen for protection. And just when 600 containers of hazardous and toxic waste destined for Tunisia was blocked by the Italian customs authorities, civil society activists from the port city of Sousse gathered on Thursday to rally in front of the Italian embassy in Tunis. The protesters are demanding the repatriation to Italy of 282 containers of Italian waste still blocked at the port of Sousse. They protested by carrying garbage bags loaded with bouquets of flowers and chanted slogans such as "Tunisia is not the trash of Italy." Richer countries have for years used their poorer counterparts as dumping grounds. In 2019, the Philippines shipped back thousands of tons of trash to Canada after a heated row. And now, outside Africa, a train derailed in a tunnel in eastern Taiwan after apparently hitting a truck with at least 36 people feared dead and more than 72 injured as rescuers struggled to reach crushed carriages. The train traveling to Taitung came off the rails in a tunnel just north of Hualien, causing some carriages to hit the wall of the tunnel. The Transport Ministry put the death toll in the island's worst rail disaster in more than 3 decades at 36. More than 72 people were injured, with around 60 already sent to hospital. And now in business, the new Director General of the Security and Exchange Commission, Lamido Yuguda, says the immediate past chairman of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Onyema's tenure, made the exchange accessible to the public. Yaguda said this during a virtual closing gong ceremony in honor of the immediate past chairman. Plus TV Africa's correspondent, Destiny Momo, has more.
Oscar Onyema was described as a very innovative leader because of the milestones he achieved under an economic decline. As accolades pour in, he's said to be an example of not how we start, but how we finish. The DG of the Securities and Exchange Commission says the capital market achieved global recognition and became a demutualized entity, all because of Onyema. Others extol his leadership style.
At the SEC, we recognize that the success successful completion of Mr. Onyema's tenure also ushers in a new era, not only for the but also for the Nigerian capital market. This is particularly so as the NSE begins its next phase as a demutualized entity. We have no doubt that this will also unlock new opportunities for the NSE as well as for the capital market.
His leadership qualities have not gone unnoticed. He was elected this day Man of the Year 2012 and awarded Officer of the Order of the Niger in September 2014 in recognition of his contribution to the Nigerian financial services sector and the impact that it has had on the economy and citizens of Nigeria. Perhaps the most telling of his achievements are the performance of the exchange. The exchange has experienced a turnaround of its fortunes over the 10 years since Oscar has served at the helm of the exchange. There is a popular saying that goes, it is not how you start, but how you finish.
Responding, Oscar Onyema, who relieves some of the highlights of his tenure, says the market capitalization has grown by 300% from 9 trillion naira to 38.2 trillion naira under his watch.
Between 2011 and today, the market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange has grown by over 300% from 9 trillion naira in 2011 to 38.2 trillion naira today. Also, in 2011, we only traded equities. Today, we trade equities, fixed income, exchange-traded funds, and we're just about to launch derivatives. In just the last month, we accomplished a vision that seemed far-fetched 10 years ago as we secured the necessary regulatory approvals from the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Corporate Affairs Commission to evolve into a fully demutualized exchange group, joining over 56 other exchanges around the globe.
In recent times, the Nigerian Stock Exchange has achieved great strides in its journey, which brought about major reviews in its governance, market structure, and operations. Destiny Momo for Plus TV Africa.